Welcome to Consumer Connection. My name is Susan Jones, Branch Manager with Fairfax County Consumer Affairs. I have with me today John Caskey, volunteer for AARP and presenter for the AARP's Fraud Watch Network. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
Now, if you are like most Americans, you walk right past a tool used to steal a reported $35 million from U.S. consumers last year. Cryptocurrency ATMs are often colorful kiosks that are popping up in supermarkets, convenience stores, gas stations, restaurants, liquor stores, and even laundromats. There are more crypto ATMs in America than they are legitimate bank ATMs, and criminals are always looking for the quickest and untraceable ways to get money from their victims. Today's topic is AARP on crypto scams. So, John, I heard a lot about scams and fraud on TV and through social media. What are the most common types of scams being used today?
The most common scams today are various text, emails, phone calls, or social media contacts that promise you riches or entice you with romance or scare you with threats about your power being turned off or your computer being locked up or your grandchild being arrested.
Now, are there any common themes with all these scams?
Yes, all these scams drive your emotions. They require immediate attention and ultimately ask for money. One common scam is for a person to call an elderly person and claim to be their grandchild. They often have like a crackly voice. They say they've been in an accident and they're in jail and they need money to get out of jail. And if you don't pay them immediately, the person's going to stay in jail. So the goal of the scammer is really to drive up your emotions, get you frightened about what's transpiring so that you make decisions without thinking logically, decisions that you otherwise wouldn't make. Another common scam is to claim that your credit card was stolen and that you need to provide personal information over the phone or in a text to protect your credit card.
So how do these scammers actually get paid?
Some request the victim purchase a lot of gift cards, to go to your local convenience store or grocery store, buy a handful of gift cards, put money on those gift cards, and then basically when you get home, open those gift cards, and on the back of those gift cards is an account information as well as a security code, and then you provide that security code to the person that is actually perpetrating the scam. Some actually request cash, and they offer to have somebody drive by your house and pick up that cash from you. In others, they request a bank transfer or transfer using one of the new money transfer apps on your smartphone. But the growing trend is to request payments in cryptocurrency, and that in itself has just doubled since 2021.
Wow. So what is cryptocurrency?
It is a type of digital currency that exists only electronically. It doesn't have really a physical meaning. The two common ones are Bitcoin, which you may have heard a lot about, as well as Ethereum. But there are new ones being created daily, and at last estimate, there are roughly 2,000 different types of cryptocurrency. One of the important things to note is that the protections that you have at your credit union or your bank or any other area do not cover these cryptocurrency forms. So they don't exist for cryptocurrency. In addition, cryptocurrency transfers are virtually untraceable. So currently, one Bitcoin is worth roughly $100,000.
Wow, a lot of money. So how is cryptocurrency used in scams?
So once the scammer scares you to death or convinces you that you need to pay immediately to get your child out of jail, your grandchild out of jail, or promises to remove the virus from your computer, or agrees to not turn off your power, they want to get paid. A common process is for the scammer to convince you to go to your bank, withdraw thousands of dollars. So oftentimes they have you on the phone while they're doing this. You withdraw $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in cash, and then the scammers identify a local crypto ATM machine near you. And the scammer walks you through the whole process, tells you where to find the ATM machine, and then actually can describe to you where to enter cash on the machine, what account information to enter in, and then basically once you have all that information in there and you just push a button, then your money that's been in cash is now converted to Bitcoin, and then that's transferred to the criminal's account.
Wow. So a lot of these scams are perpetrated on older citizens. Exactly how would a senior person know how to convert their money to crypto?
Basically, most of them don't. A lot of them don't even know what cryptocurrency is. So basically, the scammer stays on the phone, and that's one of the telltale signs of a scam, that if a person walks into the bank like a teller, asks for an unusually large amount of cash withdrawal, and is on the phone at the same time, that's often a telltale symptom to the teller or to the bank manager to know that the person is being scammed. So the same sort of thing happens after they get the cash. They go to the ATM machine, and then the scammer, the criminal, will actually walk them through the whole process. And there are screens that will pop up in some cases that say, you know, are you being exposed to a scam? Are these things happening to you? Is somebody threatening somebody in your family? They go on and on like that. And basically the person will walk them through the whole process and explain to them, just ignore that screen. Don't worry about that screen. There's nothing important about it. Some of the machines today also have more physical warnings on the outside of the machine. So they're typically located in grocery stores, gas stations, convenience stores. Here's a picture of one, a crypto ATM in the corner of a gas station. So one of the important things to note is that these are third-party ATM machines, essentially, that also handle crypto, and they're not under the purview of that gas station or under that grocery store. It's a third party managing that. So if you go to talk to the store manager, they're like, no, I don't know anything about it. It's sort of like not my job to deal with that. The ATMs do have warnings. Again, I say more and more are having physical warnings on the outside, but a lot of them are also, once you put in information and get ready to enter your money into the crypto ATM machine, basically there'll be screens that warn you and ask you questions about, could this be a scam?
Okay. So how can people avoid these scams?
Pretty simple stuff. Don't answer phone calls from numbers you don't recognize. Don't accept text messages from people you don't know. Delete emails from unknown sources, or also check in the email address to make sure that email address is a legitimate address. Do not click on any links in the text or the emails themselves. That's a big one because there's embedded code in there that can actually put a virus on your computer. Do not call back the phone number that was left for you. If somebody calls saying they're a utility, and call this 800 number to basically make sure that your phone, your utility, your electricity does not get turned off. Do not call those 800 numbers. Go directly to your bank card or to your utility bill and call the 800 numbers that are there. All of these responses can connect you to the criminal scanner. Always contact your credit card company, as I said. Use the 800 number on the back there. It's important to note that only scammers will demand payment in cryptocurrency. No legitimate business is going to demand you send cryptocurrency. No legitimate utility, government agency, or credit card company will require immediate payment using cryptocurrency or gift cards.
So are there other ways that cryptocurrencies are used in fraud or scams?
Yes, there are many examples of investment scams over the ages. Some of the most famous are the Ponzi scams of Bernie Madoff, or various pyramid scams, or even the Enron scandal during the early days of energy regulation. One of the latest scams was the FTX scam perpetrated by Sam Bankman-Fried. At that time, FTX was one of the largest digital currency exchange platforms for buying and selling cryptocurrencies. And he was basically fraudulently reporting information, and that's how people lost literally millions of dollars during that. Before you know it, you're going to be getting phone calls, emails, text messages, maybe even a Facebook post offering to get you in on the ground floor of one of these new cryptocurrencies or a token scheme. And basically, they're going to promise you that this thing is going to go up tenfold in the next 3 years or something on that order. And it's not true. So certainly you need to do your homework before you buy any cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or others. So the other thing is that I just lost my train. Remember that if it sounds too good to be true, it typically is false.
And that's a good reminder, yes.
Right.
If it's too good to be true, don't do it. How do I report cryptocurrency scams?
So it's important to report fraud and other suspicious activities involving cryptocurrency to local law enforcement first and see if they can help you. And it's important for them to file a record so that you can use that later on. The other area is the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. And there's also the Internet Crime Complaint Center at www.ic3.gov. And there's also AARP Fraud Watch Network at aarp.org. Or there's an 800 number, call 877-908-3360.
Now, are there any other words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Some of the things that I think are most important, one is to identify a relative or friend, a niece or nephew, someone like that that you know that you can count on to be trusted, that if you do get exposed to some sort of scam or some questionable activity on your credit card or something else, that you can call them and review it with them and see if there's an issue or not before you respond. Second is sort of do not trust anyone until you verify their identity. So whether it's an email, a text, I've gotten like notes from apparently my sister saying that here's a picture of my mother when they were young, and it's basically got a link to open that, and you open that and there's a virus embedded in there. So you want to avoid them also. Always take advantage of the 800 numbers on the back of your credit card. Call them if there's ever any question, and call your utility directly. Do not respond to any of the text or emails that you might get or the phone calls. And third, if you want to learn more about scams, there's a huge amount of information available on the AARP Fraud Watch Network, and I mentioned that earlier. That's at aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork, or call the 877-908-3360 for more information.
Well, Don, thank you so much for joining us today to share such valuable information on crypto scams. Now, next week, our office will be celebrating National Consumer Protection Week, March 2nd through the 8th, 2025. Now, National Consumer Protection Week is a national celebration of federal, state, and local agencies and organizations who provide consumer education and resources throughout the year. Now, Consumer Affairs is committed to ensuring that Fairfax County consumers have the tools and resources they need to understand their consumer rights, navigate the marketplace, and make informed decisions. A list of the events can be found on the address shown on the screen. Now, during National Consumer Protection Week, Consumer Affairs will host Fairfax County Consumer Affairs Day on Thursday, March 6th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Fairfax County Government Center lobby, 12,000 Government Center Parkway, Fairfax 22035. Now, agencies participating include AARP, Virginia Department of Treasury, Unclaimed Property, and some of the departments from Fairfax County includes Silver Shield Anti-Scam Task Force, Department of Cable and Consumer Services, Department of Code Compliance, Department of Emergency Management and Security, Department of Family Services, Land Development Services, and of course, the Fairfax County Police Department. So please stop by, see us. Staff will be available to answer any of your questions. Also, don't miss out on the unclaimed property. It's talking about bank accounts, refunds, deposits, dividends, and uncashed checks from the Virginia Department of Treasury. Now, if you have a consumer issue, please contact us at 703-222-8435. You can like us on Facebook at Fairfax County Consumer Affairs, or go to our website at www.fairfaxcounty.gov/cableconsumer. Join us again on March 3rd for Consumer Connection, and we will be with Legal Services of Northern Virginia. We hope to see everybody next week for National Consumer Protection Week.